welcome to my channel. I'm Professor Binks. I'm going to be doing a Pokemon solo challenge run using Pokemon Red version. I'll be using a wheel randomizer to decide which Pokemon we'll be doing the run with. I'm going to replace one of the starters using the Universal Pokemon Randomizer, and I'll ensure that the rival chooses whichever Pokemon starter is most effective against us. So here is our wheel, and let's give it a spin to see who we get. Persian, okay. It's normal type, so it's probably gonna have a good move pool. And probably high speed. I've never actually used Persian or Meowth in any of the Pokemon games, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this turns out. The rules will be the same as always, and they're posted in the top right of the screen. I play the game at 4 times speed, which does not affect the in-game timer. I can only battle using the chosen Pokemon. If one of my other Pokemon come to battle, I have to try to lose. If I cannot lose, I have to restart the game. I cannot use any items during battle except for Pokeballs. I cannot use glitches except for badge boosting, because it happens during regular gameplay. Red bar, for the same reason. I will occasionally be doing early Brock skip. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can skip Brock at the start and go back and fight him later. And I get the bicycle skip, so you can go on a cycling road without getting the bicycle. And I also will not be saving between the Elite Four and Champion. I have to fight them all back to back. Let's get going. I manipulate things so the rival chooses Bulbasaur, since it's the only starter Pokemon that we don't get a move that's super effective against. Let's see how the fight goes. Bite does quite a bit of damage, and Bulbasaur goes down, and we're going to move on to Viridian Forest now. Bug Catcher is going to get made short work of, probably, due to Bite just doing quite a bit of damage. First hit's critical, very nice. Second one, doesn't take him out, but not an issue. Alright, we're going to try to take on Brock. It's probably not going to go too well, but we'll see how it goes with a couple screeches. Hopefully we don't get too many defense curls. We take an awful lot of damage from Tackle, and this is not going to work. So we're actually just going to skip him after this. Alright, so we save in front of this guy. We're going to move, and then we're going to open our menu right after his dialog box closes, right here. We're going to save. Here, we're going to do a soft reset so we can go back to the title screen. And when we reload, we're going to be in the middle of the scripted event. And it'll glitch out, and it'll still send us over to Brock's gym, but he won't be here blocking our way anymore. And there we go. Nothing eventful happens in Mount Moon, so we're going to try and fight Misty and see how it goes. We get a lucky flinch. We take an unfortunate critical hit. This is probably going to be a failure. Yeah, Bulb Beam knocks us out, so we're going to try and fight the rival now. Bite does not do very much damage, but we get a critical. Abra can't do anything. Rattata, how will this go? Another lucky critical. We should be able to pull this through now. Yeah, Vonnegut does minimal damage, and we beat the rival. We're actually going to learn Payday, since we're still early game and a 40 power move before stab is still going to be useful, and it'll give us a little bit of money to buy stuff. After we finish Bill, we're going to go back and fight Misty. Bite almost knocks out Staryu without a critical. Probably not going to have an issue here. We are critically hit. Bulb Beam brings us down, but we get a lucky crit, I believe. We might not have been able to do that without the critical. Anyway, Misty's down. Now we have Bubble Beam, and we're going to teach that to our Persian to make use of our special stat. It's going to come in handy against all the rock and ground Pokemon we come up against. On to Rival Fight 3 on the SSAM. We have Body Slam now, so he's going to go down rather easily. Even though we are a higher level, Body Slam does not one-hit the Pidgeotto. It does take out the Raticate though. Kadabra is a joke. And Ivysaur is just gonna go down to 2 Body Slams. And now on to Lieutenant Surge, who is also probably going to be quite easy. Voltorb goes down to a single Body Slam, as does Pikachu. Raichu will maybe outspeed us. It does not, and we critically hit, and Raichu doesn't even get to do anything. Lieutenant Surge is as weak as ever. In Rocket Headquarters Game Corner, we're going to fight Giovanni. We have Bubble Beam, so this is going to be pretty easy. His first 2 Pokemon are 4 times weak to water, so they go down. Kangaskhan, we're going to use some other attacks. We almost get knocked out, but we do win. We pick up the Silph Scope and we head to Pokemon Tower and fight Rival 4. We have Thunderbolt now from Lieutenant Surge. I don't know why we didn't use it on Pidgeotto, but it is what it is. We do use it on Gyarados and it goes down in 1 hit, obviously. Growlithe, we can use the Bubble Beam. Body Slam the Kadabra. And we're just going to Body Slam Ivysaur. Nothing really special here since we're not weak to any of his Pokemon. And we have quite a bit of speed. We haven't fought Erica yet and we're still going to wait, so we're going to head to Cycling Road and do the skip. You just hold left and you go through the dialogue boxes and you'll just keep moving. As usual, there's no encounters on Cycling Road. To leave, it's the same thing but in reverse. You hold right and then you go through the dialogue boxes. On to Koga, we're just going to test the waters. Body Slam does solid damage. Unfortunately, it is not a 2-hit. Muck might be dangerous due to Sludge. I use Thunderbolt trying to get a Paralysis and test his special defense. Body Slam seems to be doing more, but it minimized and we are not landing our attacks. Sludge takes us out. So we're going to go on to Erica now. And we're just going to use Body Slam to take out our Pokemon. We do get hit in Tangela's Wrap, but it does minuscule damage. We managed to paralyze the Vileplume, and it uses Petal Dance for quite a bit of damage. But Erica goes down, nothing to worry about. Moving on to Silphco to fight Rival 5. We're actually going to open with Thunderbolt this time, and it does a little over half, which is less than I expected. Gyarados is going to go down to 1. It actually manages to survive, but it is paralyzed. It does hit with the Hydro Pump, taking us down to 20. This might be dicey. A Bubble Beam also does not take out the Growlithe, but it doesn't manage to do any damage. Can we one-shot the Alakazam? We can. It is a critical. It probably didn't matter. We're getting pretty good luck on the Venusaur. It does hit us and knock us out, so let's try again. We Thunderbolt the Pidgeot again. We make it a Gyarados at full HP. Thunderbolt doesn't knock it out. It hits us with Bite. Growlithe comes out, and we're going to use Bubble Beam again. Alakazam. And we're going to Body Slam it. It's another critical, so we're not sure if it mattered. Our first Body Slam on Venusaur paralyzes it, but we get poisoned. We do manage to defeat it, but I don't have an antidote, and I don't really feel like going back. Let's see if we can go fight Giovanni. Right, here we are, and we are still poisoned. So we are on a clock. Body Slam one-shots the Nidorino, probably because it was a critical. We Thunderbolt, trying to get it paralyzed and go for special defense. It manages to survive, uses Rage for minimal damage. Rhyhorn expectedly goes down in 1 hit to Bubble Beam. We Bubble Beam the Nidoqueen for not a lot of damage, but we're going to keep doing it. Fortunately, it's not trying to do any damage to us. It does get a scratch off, but Giovanni goes down. Not much of an issue despite the poison. We're back on Koga. Little more XP, higher level. Body Slam crits and takes out his first coughing. How will Muck fare? We don't quite take it down to half, but it is paralyzed. It dramatically increases its evasion. We do manage to knock it out. Coughing can't really do anything. Not worried about it, but what will Wheezing do? It self-destructs, and it's a critical hit taking us out, so we have to try again. We don't one-hit the coughing this time, but it does go down. We take minimal damage. We crit first hit on Muck, which is phenomenal. His second coughing comes out and doesn't stand a chance. Let's see what Wheezing does. We crit with Body Slam. He uses an X attack, and we get 2 crits in a row. That is fantastic, and we beat Koga. Moving on to Blaine, we do have a water attack, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue, assuming we don't get burned and hit with Fire Blast or Fire Spin or something. Growlithe survives 1 hit, which I did expect. But it goes down without dealing any damage. Ponyta gets critically hit by Bubble Beam, goes down. We get another crit and almost take out the Rapidash. 2 crits in a row. Arcanine takes not a lot of damage and does almost half of our health. So we just keep using Bubble Beam and hopefully nothing bad happens. It thankfully uses Roar, giving us the opportunity to bring him down. We have quite a bit of speed, so we should be faster than her Alakazams, so I'm not expecting much of an issue from Sabrina. 1 Body Slam takes out her Kadabra. We almost take out our Mr. Mime in 1 hit, but it does have higher defense. Venomoth comes out. We critically hit that. Alakazam does actually manage to survive and then use Recover, but a second Body Slam is enough to lay it low. Now we have to go fight Brock since we haven't done that yet, and we can't fight Giovanni until then. So here's Brock. We're obviously just going to use Bubble Beam, and there's nothing he can do. Up against Giovanni, we're going to use Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam does not take out his Dugtrio in 1 hit. But it's not 4 times effective, so that makes sense. We have a bit of bad luck on Nidoqueen. Nidoking comes out, and we do quite a bit with Bubble Beam, take a beefy 2 hits from Thrash, and go down. If it wasn't a critical, we might have been able to survive that second hit. So we're going to go in for the rematch, and basically use the same strategy. Rhyhorn and Dugtrio go down to Bubble Beam. It managed to get a dig off and do almost half of our health though. We have better luck with the Nidoqueen and only take minuscule damage. Well, how will Nidoking act? Thankfully it uses Tackle instead of Thrash. It does hit with Thrash and brings us down to 6. Are we going to have good luck on Rhydon? Bubble Beam does not take it out despite being 4 times effective, and it misses with a Horn Drill, so we have beaten Giovanni onto Rival 6. Here comes the last rival fight. We're going to open with Thunderbolt as usual. We do manage to get it paralyzed, but it goes for agility, so we make it through without taking any damage. Rhyhorn is going to get a Bubble Beam and probably get knocked out. It does. Gyarados managed to survive a Thunderbolt, but the rival uses a potion because of bad scripting. We decide to Body Slam the Growlithe, but it manages to hang on. We crit with a Bite. It's unnecessary, but Alakazam manages to survive a Body Slam, but it goes for Reflect and then falls. And we're just going to hit Venusaur with a couple Body Slams. Our first one paralyzes it. It decides to use Vine Whip, and then it goes down easy to that. Now let's move on to the Elite Four. Here's our first attempt. We're just here to test the waters. We don't expect to win. Thunderbolt does almost half. We take almost half of ours from an Aurora Beam. It goes back. It goes to sleep. She uses Super Potion, making us waste even more Thunderbolts, and another Super Potion, but we get a crit. So Cloyster comes out, and it takes quite a bit from Thunderbolt. We're down to yellow from Spike Cannon. Slowbro, I'm not expecting it to really do anything. It water guns us down into the red. We're getting some pretty lucky paralysis. We take down the Slowbro. Here comes Jinx. We decide to go for a Body Slam. It does a quarter and then we fall. So we're going to go level up and then try again. We're now level 51 and we have Slash, and we used that to replace Bite. We're going to be doing a lot more damage, so let's see how it goes. We are unfortunately critically hit, but Dugong goes down, and let's see how Cloyster fares. We almost take it out with the Thunderbolt, but we go down into the red. Fortunately, Slowbro uses Amnesia, and then Growl. We take it out. Jinx falls to 1 slash, that's good news. How will Lapras fare? Not quite half, and we go down. Let's level up again. Lorelei is usually kind of the gatekeeper in these challenge runs. You have to fight her so many times. But we're a little higher level now, so let's see how it goes. We open with Body Slam because she'll usually go to rest first, but she doesn't this time. She uses a Super Potion, and we take her out with Thunderbolt. We do become confused, which is unfortunate, but we manage to take out the Cloyster. We snap out of our confusion as we take out the Slowbro. We're going to slash the Jinx. And let's see how Lapras goes. We open with Thunderbolt. It is a crit, taking it down into yellow. That's really good. Blizzard almost knocks us out, and we beat Lapras, so we're going to move on to Bruno for the first time. We're going to Bubble Beam the Onyx. We don't KO the Hitmonchan. Thankfully, it doesn't use counter. Hitmonlee goes down because it has low defense. And let's see what Machop does. X defend, excellent. Bruno goes down, pretty easy. Before we fight Agatha, we're going to replace Body Slam with Mimic. We don't need to use an elixir, so we're just going to go right into the fight. We're going to start by mimicking the Gengar's Hypnosis. It opens the fight with the Nightshade, which, while bad, is better than Hypnosis. We managed to put it to sleep, but it wakes up. So we try again, and then we're going to move on to Thunderbolt. We get some pretty good damage. It manages to wake up. Bulk Beam does not take it out, so we use another Thunderbolt. We're just going to slash the Golbat. It manages to survive, unfortunately, but she used another Super Potion. We managed to make it through the Golbat without taking damage, and we're going to put Haunter to sleep. And we're going to go back into using Thunderbolts. Looks like it's doing about a quarter. We switched to Bulb Beam, saved some of our Thunderbolts for the Gengar. It manages to wake up, but we still take it out. We slash the Arbok, it survives. And now we're going to put her last Gengar to sleep. The only thing it can really do to us is Nightshade, which would be bad. It wakes up, so we put it back to sleep, and we go back to using our Thunderbolts. We are now out of PP, so Hypnosis, it manages to stay awake, and it badly poisons us. We managed to take it out barely. If we didn't take it out there, we would have actually been KO'd from the toxic damage, I think. So we're going to use our Elixir and Full Restore. and we're going to move on to land. We're not going to use Mimic here at all. We're just going to Thunderbolt the Gyarados. It manages to hold on, but it is paralyzed and doesn't get to attack. So our second Thunderbolt brings it down. Unfortunately, these Dragonair can actually hurt us, and they do have Hyper Beam. There it is, and that is not quite half, so we could survive another one from the other Dragonair. Thankfully, it uses Agility. Lance uses a Hyper Potion, so it holds on for another round. And it hits us with Hyper Beam, bringing us down into red. This is probably going to be a loss. I accidentally misclicked Slash, and then Aerodactyl hits us with Hyper Beam. I had meant to use Thunderbolt, but it is what it is, so we have to start all over. Alright, we're going to skip past Lorelei for right now. Something I wasn't expecting to happen happens during this Bruno fight, and I just wanted to have it in the video. So we go through his Pokemon, nothing special so far. Hitmonchan uses an Ice Punch, we don't get frozen, we take it out. Hitmonlee goes down to a Slash like usual, and then we Bubble Beam the Onix, and then his Machamp comes out. And this is something I wasn't expecting. We don't KO it, and then it uses Submission and KOs us from full HP. So let's show another Bruno fight. We take out the Onix, and we go for a Slash on the Hitmonchan. And it uses Counter that I forgot it had. So now we're back at the start of the Elite Four. And we're going to start by Body Slamming the Dugong. We're going to follow this up with another Body Slam. And we're going to finish it off with a Slash. Cloyster comes out, and we're going to Thunderbolt it under half. Thankfully it uses Spike Cannon and not Clamp. And Body Slam will take it down. Slowbro comes out, we're going to open with a Thunderbolt, taking it down to half. It is paralyzed. And Slash will almost KO it. She uses Super Potion, and then we just take it down. Jinx is going to fall to a Slash like every other time. And let's see how Lapras treats us. We slash it down to yellow. It does over half of our HP. We're going to need a little bit of luck. Thankfully she uses Super Potion, and at that point it's a free victory. We're going to use our full restore and then move on to Bruno. Hopefully we don't run into any counter or Ice Punch or submission issues. So Onix is going to fall to a Bubble Beam like he always does. Hitmonchan comes out, and I remember you can't use counter on special attacks, so I use Bubble Beam. It actually almost takes him out, and then I just finish him off. Hitmonlee comes out, and it's just going to go down to a single Slash. Onix, same for Bubble Beam. And here comes the Machamp. Hopefully it doesn't use submission. We hit for a Slash, critical of course. It focused energy, very nice, allowing us to win without an issue. Now for pre-Agatha prep, we have to use a full restore since we took some damage, and then we're going to use Mimic, and we're going to replace Body Slam. Hopefully we have some good RNG. We're going to start by using Mimic to copy Hypnosis. Thankfully it opens with Dream Eater, so we don't take any damage. We put it to sleep. She swaps into Golbat, that's totally fine. It uses Supersonic, but it misses. We're basically on top of the world right now. I accidentally misclick Hypnosis, but it swaps into Haunter. We managed to miss, it confuses us, and we put it to sleep. We could still turn this around. We snap out of our confusion, and it wakes up. We put it back to sleep, and it keeps waking up. We decide not to try again, and we get a lucky critical with Thunderbolt taking it down. The first Gengar is back out, we hit it, and then it wakes up. It wakes up after our Hypnosis the next turn. We decided to gamble and just go for some Thunderbolts. Arbok lowers our defense, but it doesn't matter with the last Gengar remaining. We put it to sleep. It puts us into a confusion while staying awake. We managed to finally put it to sleep, and we're going to use the last of our Thunderbolts to take it down. We're going to use an Elixir now, and then a full restore. We're just going to use some of our rare candies now, just to be on the safe side. Let's see how Lance treats us. Thunderbolt almost one-shots the Gyarados, and thankfully it misses with Hydro Pump. We managed to take out the Dragonair in one slash. The second one manages to survive with quite a lot of HP, which is surprising. Aerodactyl comes out, and we use Thunderbolt, and we get a crit, which is probably what we needed to take it out. Dragonite comes out, and we're just going to use Slash. Thankfully it uses Barrier, which is probably the best move it could have used for us. We take down the Dragonite, and now we move on to the rival. Before we fight him though, we're going to use our last rare candy to bring us up to level 63. And let's see how it goes. We're going to start with a Thunderbolt. It survives and gets a critical wing attack. A dicey start. We slash the Alakazam and it goes down. Rhydon's going to fall to a Bubble Beam. And Gyarados to a Thunderbolt. It manages to survive and then misses with its Hydro Pump. This is pretty good. Arcanine comes out. We use a Bubble Beam. It does not do a lot of damage. Thankfully, it uses Leer, and we decide to go for a Slash, which was the better move. Takedown brings us down to the yellow. But Venusaur comes out, and we use Slash. It does over half. Thankfully, it tries to use Solar Beam, and then that gives us a free turn to KO it. We've beat our rival now. Doing this run with Persian was actually really fun, and so far it's been our fastest run by over an hour in-game, and somewhere around 3-ish hours of real-time faster than all the other runs. After a couple more runs, I'll probably be making a chart to include in this section showing rankings. If you want to see more videos like this, please press like and subscribe or leave a comment down below. Thanks for watching.